In the far edges of the galaxy, stories were told about a lost race called humans. They said humans were strong, fearless, and dangerous, a species that once ruled the stars. But that was 1,000 years ago. Now, they were only legends. Bedtime stories to scare young aliens. No one had seen a human in centuries. Most believed they had destroyed themselves in their own wars. The galaxy had moved on. New empires rose. New powers claimed the stars, and yet, something strange was happening. In a quiet sector beyond the outer rim, an old signal suddenly appeared. It was weak, broken, and old. A kind of transmission that no alien could understand. The pattern was unlike anything known in modern space communication. It carried echoes of a lost language. English, at first, no one cared. But then another signal followed. Stronger this time, it repeated one simple line again and again. For Earth, we return. Panic spread through the nearby systems. Military patrols were sent to investigate. They found nothing but silence and cold stars. Yet their scanners kept detecting something, massive, moving slowly through the dark. Whispers began across the galaxy. Could it be them? Could the humans still be alive? But no one wanted to believe, because if humans had truly returned, it meant the galaxy's most feared warriors were coming back, and they never forgot those who betrayed them. Somewhere, in the deep void, a dark shape moved. A warship of human design. Awakening after 1,000 years of silence. Admiral Korvac of the Threxian Empire was the first to receive the strange transmission. His scanners confirmed it. The signal came from an old human frequency. Long forgotten, for hours, his team tried to decode the message. Every time they translated a few words, new data appeared, more complex than before. The Admiral's claws tapped nervously on the control table. Find the source, he ordered. His fleet moved through the cold emptiness of space, following the ghost signal into the dark. Then, without warning, their radars froze. Static filled every screen. The signal vanished. Moments later, a shadow appeared behind them, something huge, something alive with power. A shape slowly emerged from the darkness in black metal, heavy armor, silent thrusters. It was not alien. It was human. The crew stared in disbelief. Old stories rushed back, the tales of Earth's war fleets that once turned planets to ash. But this was no story. This was real. The massive ship moved beside them, its hull glowing faintly with ancient markings. Through the static, a single transmission broke through the silence. This is the United Earth Fleet. Stand by for contact. Then, the ship powered up its engines and disappeared into hyperspace, leaving only shock and fear behind. Admiral Korvac stood frozen. If the humans had truly returned, the galaxy was not ready. No empire, no army, no alliance could stop them. Korvac whispered to himself, if they are back, the stars will never be the same again. News of the strange encounter spread like wildfire. Across the galaxy, every major system was talking about it, the human signal. Some called it a ghost transmission, others said it was a warning. But within a few days, more sightings began. Near Vega Prime, a trade ship reported seeing 3 massive vessels pass silently through a nebula. Their hulls were black, their engines glowed blue, and they carried no identification codes. Only one thing was clear. They were human-built. The Galactic Council held an emergency meeting. Panic echoed through the great halls. Empires argued, scientists denied, and soldiers prepared for war. Humans are extinct, shouted one senator. No, another whispered. They're back. Across deep space, sensors began detecting strange energy bursts, gravity distortions, power readings beyond known technology. Something was moving. Something big. And then, the skies above the Council's homeworld darkened. At first, it looked like clouds. Then they realized it was a fleet. Dozens of giant ships appeared out of hyperspace, silent and perfectly aligned. Their presence was enough to shake the planet's defense systems. No weapons fired, no words spoken. Only one transmission was received. A cold, calm voice said, "We remember everything." The message repeated across every major communication channel, every planet, every empire. The humans had returned, not as victims but as a force beyond imagination. The galaxy held its breath as the lost race of Earth made their silent, unstoppable comeback. The galaxy was frozen in fear. For the first time in 1,000 years, humanity had spoken, and their silence after that message was even louder than war. No one dared to attack, no one dared to approach, but the Galactic Council had to act. They sent a single envoy ship toward the nearest human. Dreadnought, a massive vessel orbiting a dead moon. The envoy carried ambassadors, translators, and guards from 6 different species. Their mission: make peace before it was too late. As the envoy approached, every system on their ship began to fail. Power, comms, navigation. The human warship disabled them with just a signal pulse. Then a voice echoed through their speakers. Calm, deep, human. Envoy ship detected. You may enter. The aliens stared at each other in shock. They had never heard a human voice before, only recordings from the ancient wars. A beam of white light pulled the envoy into the massive hangar. The inside was quiet. Too quiet. Steel walls, dim lights, the smell of cold metal. Then footsteps echoed. A figure appeared. Tall, armored human. His helmet retracted, revealing a scarred face and calm blue eyes. The leader of the envoy tried to speak. We come in peace. The galaxy believed your kind was gone. The human commander looked at him for a long moment. Then he said quietly, You left us to die. Now you want peace? Silence filled the air. The aliens realized this was not a reunion. It was a reckoning. The human's eyes turned cold. We did not return to talk, he said. We returned to finish what you started. The message from the human commander spread faster than light. Every empire, every planet, every soldier knew what it meant. War was coming. Admiral Korvac watched from his flagship as fleets gathered near Vega Prime, ready to defend the system. Thousands of alien ships in the largest armada ever seen. They waited in silence, scanning the void, searching for a sign of the humans, and then space itself seemed to tear open. Blue light, static, and energy filled the sky. Out of hyperspace came 20 human warships. Black, silent, terrifying. The alien fleets opened fire first. Beams of plasma and missiles filled the darkness, but none of them hit the humans. Moved like shadows, fast and precise. Their weapons glowed white-hot, cutting through enemy shields like paper. One alien ship after another exploded in blinding fire. Their screams echoed through open comms. Shields failing. Engines gone! They're everywhere. Human ships didn't speak. They didn't celebrate. They simply destroyed. Methodically. Perfectly. Across the galaxy, old human colonies awoke. Buried AIs reactivated after centuries of silence. Deep beneath ruined worlds, factories began to hum again. Humanity was no longer hiding. The Galactic Council sent desperate messages calling for peace, begging for negotiation. But the humans didn't reply. They had only one goal: to remind the galaxy what fear truly meant. End of Part 5. Hook Admiral Korvac watched his fleet burn from orbit, and through the flames, he saw them, humans standing on the bridge of their ship, calm and unshaken as the voice returned once more. This is just the beginning. The galaxy burned. Entire fleets were gone. Worlds that once shone with life now floated in silence. The humans had returned, and no one could stop them. But this was not chaos. It was control. Every strike was planned, every target chosen with precision. They didn't destroy planets and only the armies. Only the rulers who once betrayed them. At the galactic core, the final battle began. Billions watched from across the stars as the largest alien armada ever built stood waiting. Above them, 20 human dreadnoughts appeared, black giants against a dying sun. The alien commander gave one last order. All ships fire. Light filled space, explosions flashed like stars being born. But when the smoke cleared, the human fleet was still there. Untouched, silent, and then, one by one, their cannons ignited, bright as the heart of a star. Within minutes, the armada was gone. The galaxy's proudest forces had fallen without a sound. In the ruins of the battlefield, A single human transmission echoed across every frequency. We were never extinct. We were waiting. Then, as suddenly as they came, the humans disappeared, their ships vanishing into hyperspace, leaving behind silence and light. For weeks, no one spoke. No one claimed victory. Every world remembered that message. And somewhere, on a small distant planet, a young alien child looked up at the night sky and whispered, "They will come again." The stars flickered, and for a moment, it looked like a shape moved among them, a shadow, a warship, a reminder that humanity was watching. And they never truly left.